Hi everyone and welcome along. We're going to do some lovely loose watercolour flower painting today with an added touch of metallic watercolour. So grab your paints and let's get started. So today I just think it's good sometimes to keep things simple and remind ourselves of why we love watercolour painting and flower painting in particular. So I've got my palette here, I've got Permanent Rose, and you will know that I've become a big fan of Permanent Rose and Yellow Ochre combined to make, look at that gorgeous blushy blush colour. And I'm going to just show you a really lovely, simple way of painting flowers. And I feel like I'm always showing you a really lovely, simple way of painting flowers. But what's great about watercolour is we're always discovering new things, always learning. And so I've got a size 6 brush pointed round. It's so important to have a fine point with this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of keep the brush quite angled low to the page, and I'm just going to sort of squish it, and by doing that we get a really sort of rough edge at the end. And I'm going to take some alizarin crimson and do that. So I'm going to go in again. I want it to be really rough, just to show you that you literally don't even need to learn how to do the thin to thick to thin. Sometimes you can just squish your brush on the page and create a lovely flower, and then by dropping in that bit of colour. Okay, you'll notice I'm sort of keeping a bit of a gap between my brushes, but that's it. I was going to show you that if it all sort of squishes into one, it's also absolutely fine, because the beauty of watercolour, is that as long as you just accept things that are going to happen, like that, and don't try and sort of control it too much, then you'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a few of these in different colours. I thought what might be quite fun is taking a bit of Payne's Grey and a bit of alizarin crimson to make a sort of dusky, kind of grey purpley burgundy colour. Get that quite nice and dilute. And put a bit of Payne's Grey in there. And then we can bleed it into the neighbouring flower. I paint flowers in all sorts of different styles, and I just really want to encourage anyone who feels like watercolour is a bit intimidating and they're new to it and they don't know how to paint really beautiful flowers, that you can paint flowers in all sorts of ways. Because also what's very important is to know that watercolour is all about patience and timing. So we're making a bit of a blobby mess at the moment, but just wait until this is dried and we add a few more layers. So I'm just going to drop in 1 or 2 more flowers in a few more colours, and then we can add a few leaves and a bit of gold. So I've stuck with a limited colour palette of yellow ochre. Then I just used the this purpley colour here, drop that in, and I'm going to now just add in some like half flowers. So getting the point, and then just I'm literally squashing the brush down, and you can see that a lot of the watercolour is dried, but some of it hasn't still, so we can still drop in a little bit there. But now what I'm going to do is take some green gold and sap green, and I feel like these colours are sort of, there's a slight muted feel to them, so I'm going to take some Payne's Grey and just drop that into the mix there as well to just knock back these greens just a little bit. And then I am going to just use the sort of thin to thick to thin of the brush, but as you can see, I'm just kind of keeping the angle low to the page. And by keeping the angle low to the page, it actually means all I'm doing is pressing the brush down and lifting it up. I'm not doing a huge amount of technique. I want to just get a few sort of blends there. I'm wanting to be a bit messy with it. And if you don't sort of get it immediately, you can go back in, but this is looking rather lovely. Now, I'm going to leave this to dry 100%, and then we're going to add in some metallic. So I've got my Finetec watercolour palette, looking very well used these days. I just love it so much, but I'm quite a messy painter. You can choose whatever colours you want, actually. They're the Finetec palettes, and the place you can get them, I've put the link in to the episode notes below. I think I'm going to use some sort of slightly coppery and gold tones. So this is dry now, and I really think it looks so lovely, having crisped up and sort of settled in, mellowed in. And now I am going to take some sort of coppery, I'm going to take some gold and just pop it in there, just to slightly increase the gold. And I've got a size 2 brush here, and what I want to do is just very sort of loosely dab, and I really want it not to be too perfect or uniform. Little dots of sort of filaments and anthers into the centre of these flowers, and you need to make sure your paint is nice and thick and concentrated so that it shows up. And with the size 2 brush, I think you get a really nice range of sizes. You can get nice big blobs, but actually you can get quite delicate little dots as well. And when this dries, gosh, the gold is so reflective and shiny, it's beautiful. Okay, that's really lovely, but now what I want to do, so I'll take a size 6 brush, yeah, and just coat it nicely. You really need to make sure you're coating the full brush in this paint, and just add some extra little leaves. I might just sort of lengthen the piece by adding in a little one there. That's the cool thing, at this stage you can sort of dictate the shape. I think we'll just add in one more up there. And there we go, a beautiful but very, very simple flower painting that's just given that extra bit of special sparkle by the addition of some metallic watercolour. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that one. I want to say a huge thank you to our patrons for their support, because that support enables us to keep creating videos like this that everyone can enjoy. And if you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and comment below. And don't forget to keep an eye out for our very special announcement this Friday. You won't want to miss it. Until next time, bye!